What's going on, people? Back here with another review, and today we've got the Nike Zoom Fly 3s. So before we start, please ignore the haircut if I do this at any point in the video. It's absolutely horrific. You may have seen it in other places such as but we move, it's locked down. Who really cares right now? The barbers will be open soonish, so I'll sort it out then. So before we start, if you are a runner, then you may want to check out my channel, and if you enjoy my channel, please click that subscribe button just down there somewhere. Basically, I'm an 800 metre and a 1500 metre runner and the occasional 5k. I did a time trial the other week, so check that out in the video. But other than that, you're not here to see that video, you're here to see this one. So let's get on to it. So guys, the shoe that I have is the green. This looks turquoise to me, but this is apparently green. But we digress. So basically the whole point of this video is to give you a little bit of a brief about the shoe, tell you what's involved, what the features are and so on. We're going to get out on a tempo run. We've got a 6 mile tempo run today, so we're going to do that run. We're going to come back and we're going to tell you exactly how I felt during the run. And we're going to do a review on that. So then you have a before and after the first training session that you would do in these shoes, if you were to do a tempo. A tempo pace for me would be looking around about 5 minute 20 per mile to 5 minute 30 per mile. So it's not elite, but it's quick. It's quick enough to test out a shoe. And hopefully, I'm praying I don't get any blisters. So one of the first improvements that Nike have made, they've made an upper Vaporweave texture to the top of the shoe. Nike say that this comes with great breathability, but with great breathability comes entrance of water. So they aren't waterproof, they're not showerproof, they're not rainproof, but also if the water's getting in, it can get out just as easy as well. So that's pretty cool from the shoe point of view. Oh, and I didn't know it. And the Vaporweave also means that there is no tongue. And with no tongue comes less friction. With less friction comes comfortability. Comfort. So the whole point of Nike removing the tongue was to allow for a slip-on feel of the shoe rather than a textured top. Basically makes you feel like you're just wearing a sock. And they say that the way that the lacing system works reduces irritability from laces. Well, there's still laces attached, so I can't see how that's going to work. As well as the Vaporweave on the top, you also do have React foam, which is in every single Nike shoe nearly these days. The kind of foam that makes you run world records and the fast times. And the way that this works is by giving you more bulk for your bang. So basically, you get more power out of each step than you would if you weren't wearing the foam. And the way that this works is by giving you more propulsion off the floor. And that basically means that you don't have to use your muscles as hard, they don't have to work as hard, you don't have to put as much power through your foot to get the same amount of outcome, which is exactly what you'd need for a shoe. And Nike call this the bounce back effect. And on this video, you may notice that the back sticks out here. Now, Nike call this the aerodynamic effect of the posterior heel. And basically what this means is when the air comes from the front of the shoe to the back, it's distributed like that, rather than coming out like that, and therefore reduces drag. So every step, rather than having a chunk of air come out this way, you've got a thin line of air that's distributed like that. And when you're running marathons, that's probably pretty useful at some point because you are running for a long time, and the little amount of drag, the better it is for your foot. And with this shoe, Nike have also coupled in, you guessed it, a carbon plate. And it's the same carbon plate that was used in the Nike 4%. So we all know how good that shoe is. And this dynamic duo improves performance even better than it would without or with just one. And the way that the carbon plate works is it reduces the bend on the big toe, therefore your calf has to work less because it doesn't have to produce as much power and use as much force. One of the last features to note on this shoe is the rubber sole. And you can see through the high wear areas of the shoe, you have that rubber sole which gives you extra grip. Now, Nike say that this is used for extra grip, but as I'm running my hand through this, obviously it's different from a tarmac or a different surface such as like what you'd run on like a road or whatever. I'm not getting that much grip from it. So that'll be interesting to try out on this run. Now I think it's time to get these bad boys on and get into the session, so I'll catch you guys in a bit. first session in the Zoom Fly 3s, and I honestly think they were really, really good. So initially when I first put the shoes on, I was a little bit sceptical with regards to how the nodular pods felt on the inside and the outside of the Achilles. That soon went away once I realised how comfortable the shoe actually was whilst I was running in them. So the first session that I did in the Zoom Fly 3s was a threshold session, 6.5 miles. It's the biggest threshold session that I've ever done in my life, so it was always going to be a bit of a struggle. Given that, I was able to run a 10k personal best in the middle of it in 33 minutes and 10, which is, I've never done a 10k before, so that's probably why it was PB, but so I did 6.5 miles in 35 minutes and 1 second. Biggest threshold session I've ever done. I've never done an effort that big in my life ever, so it was a massive surprise to me. Obviously the personal best through 10k isn't official, obviously I'm not going to claim that, but it was a massive shock as well because I did not expect to run that fast and it felt so comfortable as well. So with regards to the comfort of the shoe, I didn't feel as though I was running on clouds like the Cliftons make you do, the Hoka Cliftons. But I did feel like I was getting a spring in my step from the foam and the carbon plate, which is obviously what you would expect with a brand new shoe. I felt fully supported around the ankles. I had no problems with blisters whatsoever, even though it was my biggest threshold I've ever done. And the road route that I did do had quite a couple of bends in it, so I was pretty surprised with how the shoe managed to cope with that sort of turning motion. However, I did feel as though there was a little bit of slippage on the foot when you went round the corners. But obviously because it's a brand new shoe, that is expected, and that sort of motion kind of feel went away as I ran further. Obviously I'm going to forget about it when I'm running, but it didn't really play much of a toll. I did within the first 3 miles start to get really warm in my feet. Obviously this is meant to be a really breathable shoe. I did have issues in the first 3 miles with regards to the heat and overheating of the foot, and I was pretty concerned with how that was going to last if I was doing a long threshold like I was. But after that 3 miles, I didn't get any more problems with regards to heat. My feet probably actually cooled down, if anything, which was good, and that's probably why I ended up with no blisters. So overall, out of comfort, I would give this shoe probably an 8.5 out of 10. It's really comfortable. A couple of issues here and there, obviously with a bit of slipping, but it's a brand new shoe. I didn't have any problems after. Yeah, it's a great shoe, very comfortable. With regards to performance, well, I ran my longest ever tempo. Ran a 10k PB, I think that pretty much speaks for itself. I definitely felt like I didn't need to work as hard as I would in the normal Flyknits that I used to wear. Them Flyknits are absolutely battered, so that's probably why. And my heart rate was pretty low considering the pace that I was at, which was really refreshing to see. Another thing that I felt after the session was, obviously I was tired, but my legs thanked me. I didn't have any aches or pains or anything like that. It was a really comfortable, really high performance training session really. The only problem I had was I had a little bit of shin pain, but I believe that's probably because of how much mileage I've been putting into my legs. I obviously don't run 60-mile weeks all the time, and I've been on a massive stint of just running 60-mile weeks, so that probably took its toll. But other than that, I had absolutely no issues, and I don't believe that's down to the shoe whatsoever. Because at the end of the day, the shoe is literally brand new. The foam is absolutely fresh out of the box. Carbon plate has got no problems whatsoever because it's literally brand new. Overall, I haven't actually worn a shoe as good as this when I've been training or racing or whatever. I've never worn an Alpha Fly and I've never worn a Vaporfly, so that might be the reason why I have this decision. But in terms of performance, I will give this a 9 out of 10 happily. Really good job, kudos to you Nike. For the price tag of the shoe, which is £140 to $195 US for our American friends, I think it's a perfect alternative for its cousins of the Alpha Flies, Next Percents, Vapor Flies. I think it's a great alternative. And obviously I've only ever done one session in it, so I can't say I'm not going to have any issues further down the line. And it may not produce the same results as its cousins that I mentioned earlier, but I really enjoyed training in this shoe. My legs felt so much more energised during and after the training session, and on that basis you're going to get more buck for your bang at the end of the day, because you're going to be able to run a bit better the next day and your legs aren't going to be as tired, so that was a massive plus for me. On that basis, I really highly recommend this shoe, especially if you're unwilling to spend the heights of £240 for some Alpha Flies. I am supposed to be having a 5k time trial in a couple of weeks, so hopefully when I get to try them shoes out, that'd be really, really useful to see how good they really are. Gonna have a couple of sessions in them before that, but yeah, really looking forward to seeing how that goes. And other than that, guys, that is the end of my review of the post-session analysis of the Zoom Fly 3s. I hope you've really enjoyed the video, and if you could hit that like button, give me a comment, and absolutely smash that subscribe button, that would be so helpful for me. We have now hit 70 subscribers, so we are moving up in the right direction, and I'm really excited to see where this channel can go. So if you could do all that for me, that'd be really appreciated. And until next time, have a great day.